Welcome to my channel Digital Challenge Academy with
Tool
Rimanshu.
you absolutely, positively have to know inside and out, and that's LibreOffice Writer.
So, let's just jump right in, shall we? Look, word processing is a huge part of your practical exam. And the key thing to remember, LibreOffice Writer is the only software they're going to put in front of you. So our goal today is simple. We're going to get you so comfortable with this tool that you can just fly through those tasks come exam day.
Okay, first things first, let's tackle the big question right away, because I know what you're probably thinking. Why LibreOffice Writer? I mean, I know Microsoft Word like the back of my hand. And you know what? That's a totally fair question. But the answer? Well, the answer is absolutely critical if you want to pass this exam.
And here's the bottom line. It's really this simple. NIELIT has made LibreOffice the official standard for the O-level exam. Yeah, it's free, it's open source, which is great, but the most important thing for you is that it's the only tool you'll be graded on. So as much as you might love Word, for this exam, you gotta set it aside. It's just not on the test.
So what is LibreOffice Writer really? Well, it's a super powerful, totally free word processor. You can create anything with it, letters, reports, you name it. But here's a little nugget of information you'll want to tuck away for the exam. Its default file format is .odt. That stands for Open Document Text. Trust me, you're going to want to remember that.
Okay, so we've covered the why. Now let's get into the what. We're going to take a quick tour of the interface. Think of it like mapping out a city before a race. Knowing where everything is, that's all about speed. And when that exam clock is ticking down, every single second counts. So let's get you oriented. All right, look right at the very top of your screen. That's your main navigation hub. The title bar is pretty straightforward. It just shows your document's name. But right below it, you've got the menu bar. This is your command center, right? It's where you'll find all the main menus like File, Edit, View, Insert, all the big picture stuff.
But here's the real pro tip for exam day speed. Your eyes should immediately go to the standard toolbar just below the menus. Seriously, this is your secret weapon. It's packed with all those little icons for the things you do all the time. Save, print, copy, paste. Clicking one of these icons instead of digging through menus, that's going to save you so much time. It's a game changer.
Okay, now let your eyes drift all the way down to the bottom of the window. See that bar down there? That's the status bar. And I want you to think of it as a live dashboard for your document. It's constantly telling you your page number, your word count, even your zoom level. It's awesome for checking at a quick glance if you're hitting the specific requirements of the exam question. All right, so you've got the lay of the land. You know where things are. Now let's actually put it into practice. We're going to walk through what is probably the single most important task you'll do over and over again in the exam: creating and saving a document the right way.
It's a super simple three-step dance. Ready? Step 1. Hit Ctrl+N to get a fresh blank page. Step 2. Type whatever the exam asks you to type. And Step 3. Hit Ctrl+S to save. But wait, here's a huge exam tip, so listen closely. You will almost certainly be asked to save your file as a PDF. So when that Save window pops up, you need to know exactly where to click to change the file type. Getting that right is an easy, guaranteed point on your score sheet.
So you notice we've already been using some shortcuts, right? That's on purpose, because in a timed exam, keyboard shortcuts aren't just a nice little trick, they are your biggest advantage. They're what separate the fast from the slow. So let's do a quick fire round and lock in the most essential shortcuts that will make you feel way more confident. Check these out. These 5 shortcuts right here are your entire toolkit for basic file management. And the best part, they're so easy to remember because the letter matches the action. Ctrl+N for new, Ctrl+O for open, S for save, P for print, and Q to quit. If you can master just these 5, you can handle all the basic file stuff without ever reaching for your mouse. That's a huge time saver. And just like that, you've got the core navigation and file handling skills totally locked down. That's a huge step. So in our next explainer, we're going to move on to the really fun stuff: text formatting. This is where you start making your documents look sharp and professional, and more importantly, where you start racking up those big points on the exam.
So there you have it. You now have the foundational knowledge, the basic map, to tackle LibreOffice Writer with confidence. You know why it's the right tool. You know where all the key buttons are, and you know how to do the most critical tasks. So what's next? It's simple. Practice. Drill these basics until they become muscle memory. You've got the keys. Now, are you ready to write your own success story?